If you saw the menu, then you know that this movie is nothing if not unpredictable. So it's really no surprise that we never could have predicted everything that went into making this deliciously disturbing film. Let's take a look inside the menu's menu. Food was a very important part of this film, right? And it was something the creators knew they had to get, well, right. So they called in a professional, Chef Dominique Crenn, to help them make the food elements feel real. Crenn says that they signed on to help with the movie right after reading the script, because, in her words, I felt that I really was a lot like Chef Julian, without the violence. Crenn ran a kitchen boot camp for the cast who played Slowik's kitchen staff. The cast was composed of actors and real-life chefs. Ultimately, Crenn said the boot camp was 100% authentic and felt like a real restaurant opening. Food is theater. So said the production designer, but he carried on saying food is comedy, food is drama, food is satire. The idea that you're painting that experience with the structure of a film made perfect sense to me. Okay, but do you know about the menu's connection to Chef's Table? Dominique Crenn wasn't the only professional from the world of cooking to help make the menu come to life. Chef's Table is the way so many people know about the world of cooking. If you saw some similarities between the hit series and the menu, you were definitely picking up on something. The creator of Chef's Table, David Gelb, created many of the shots of the food that made it into the movie, and the director said they're some of his favorite shots. But did you wonder how they made Hawthorne? Well, a lot went into making the restaurant at the heart of the movie what it became. The production designer used many real-life trendy restaurants as his inspiration. But ultimately though, what the creators imagined Chef Slowik's vision to be was the restaurant's main inspiration. The creators even took the look of a church into consideration when creating Hawthorne, which is a nod to food being the chef's religion. So there was nothing accidental about the fictional restaurant's specific look. And according to the director, there was a constant translation between my dramatic storytelling needs, the photography needs of the film, and what worked making a truly realistic high-end restaurant. After all the work that went into making Hawthorne what it was, they were left with the perfect stage for the chef's vision to play out on. But how did the infamous chef come to be? Ralph Fiennes had his work cut out for him when it came to bringing this unique character to life. While Fiennes called his character a disturbing figure, it was pretty clear that he was still able to get into his character's head. He worked with Dominique Crenn to get the character just right. She explained that it was not about him understanding how to cook. It was about him understanding the character, what it means to be a chef. And she also says, I reminded him that he was the one in charge, the director of this symphony. Your confidence and your intensity is essential. So it's clear that Fiennes learned quite a bit about the ins and outs of the kitchen. And a lot went into getting the movie's unique tone. A horror movie, a thriller, a comedy, even a cooking show. Getting the tone just right wasn't easy. Nicholas Hoult knew this from his first read of the script. Truth and honesty in each individual moment was his trick to making it work. While the actor, Amy Carrero, believes that striking the perfect tone was a result of leaving lots of room to pick the best moments when it came time to edit. John Leguizamo said that the director Mark's incredible precision made the tone tick. On top of the combination of these strategies, the cast and crew made sure of one thing. Even when the movie felt like a comedy, the food was always serious. This combination of comedy, horror, satire was part of what made Ralph Fiennes sign on to do the film in the first place. Okay, and what's the story behind that perfect cheeseburger? If you saw the menu, then you definitely remember that burger. That won one character her freedom. And, if you're anything like us, that burger probably had your mouth watering. Well, like everything else that takes place in Hawthorne, the apparent deliciousness of that burger was no accident. While the other meals were mostly designed by Dominique Crenn and made to look modern and high-end, they called in Chef John Benhays to make a burger that looked more, as he puts it, nostalgic. He explains that when he was younger, he learned to make a process-driven burger and was surprised by just how much love could go into making a simple meal. While he called on his earlier years as a chef to pass on the perfect burger-making process to Ralph Fiennes, he was still surprised to find out that he was the mind behind a burger so delicious looking that it actually went viral on the internet. So Margo is quite the unusual character, or as Anya Taylor-Joy puts it,
Margo is an enigma.
She certainly brought quite a bit of mystery to an already mysterious character, and the cast and crew could clearly tell how important the famous horror movie alum was to their unique ensemble cast. While it is clear that Anya Taylor-Joy has some serious acting chops, she was also able to relate to Margo very heavily. In an interview, she explained that whenever people try to make her feel small or unworthy, I'm a total Margo in those situations. She then explained that she didn't actually have much experience with the complicated world of fine dining, but she did have some very fun homework to prepare her for the role. She says she watched a lot of Chef's Table. Now, Nicholas Hoult played Tyler, and it's clear that quite a bit went into this funny yet surprising character as well. Nicholas Hoult has gone in depth about fleshing out his character, and it's clear, like the rest of us, he was pretty confused by what exactly was going on in Tyler's head. According to him, the menu was a nice foray into the horror genre that, unlike others, didn't require him to spend too much time acting scared. His co-star, Anya, thinks that the difference between Margo and Tyler were vital to the film. So what does one vital scene look like when broken down? Director Mark and actors Anya and Nicholas discussed the making of an important scene, when the chef gives his restaurant patrons oil for dipping without the bread. They showed just how many tiny details needed to be considered to make the movie tick, even down to a lot of work going into one tiny scream.
Performances within performances within pretension.
And yes, casting the menu was clearly an important part of the process of getting the movie just right. The ensemble cast was a key ingredient, no pun intended, to perfect the menu. And according to Mark, he believes he got really lucky with a cast who knew exactly how to perfectly play the unusual tone. Alright, so Elsa's an important character, just like the others. And a lot went into making her what she was, and in turn showing exactly how the chef runs his restaurant while amping up the mystery and horror. Actor Hong Chow was the key to bringing Elsa to life, and according to Mark, she gave the character much needed depth. So, what went into making the menu's message? It's pretty incredible to imagine someone coming up with this concept, and while the cast, the food, and the perfect cheeseburger all played major roles in bringing the movie to life, the message was of the utmost importance. The menu's unique message comes across through a unique twist on the horror genre. Anya thinks the movie is entirely different from the other horror movies out there, and, in the words of the director, beyond the obvious. Eat the rich commentary. What's interesting to me is an approach that, on a more anthropological level, what is in a person's ego that feeds this increasing need for exclusivity? Okay, so what did you think of the menu? Did seeing how the movie was made change your views on it? Let's talk about it in the comments. And for more videos like this one, make sure to like and subscribe to The Things.